Hello, everybody. How are you? It's good to see you. So listen, we were doing H.H. Holmes, and things were getting good. But we've got a trial that's coming up soon, and that's the trial of Sarah Boone. If you haven't heard about her, I'll talk about her in the very beginning. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I hope it's not your fifth grandmother. Especially after I talk a little bit about more of the case. But no, not Daniel Boone. Sorry. That would be cool, though. That's pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. Franco, hey, man. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. And hello, Nan. So in the past, for the transcript, we've been, or true crime story time, I've gotten right into it. And this is fascinating. And the writing and everything that comes with it is interesting. And so it's gonna be a little more interactive, because I think it calls for that. Plus, we got some time. It's going to be fun. Hello, Mama Terry. Thank you for being here. So let's talk just a little bit about Sarah Boone. And I'm gonna pull straight from Court TV from their original article that was updated in May of 2023, but was originally posted May 28th, 2020, because it's been that long since. So, yes, aside from that, fascinating. So in Winter Park, Florida, authorities arrested a woman who was accused of zipping her boyfriend into a suitcase, recording his repeated cries for help, and then leaving him locked inside until he died. So deputies with the Orange County Sheriff's Office took Sarah Boone, 42 years old, into custody on second-degree murder charges in the death of Jorge Torres Jr., who was 42. Boone called 911 Monday afternoon from her Winter Park home and told dispatchers her boyfriend was dead. News outlets reported that. Investigators said she claimed she had been drinking the night before, and agreed it would be funny, just so funny, if Torres got into the suitcase during a game of hide and seek. 42 and 42. Boone reportedly admitted she zipped Torres into the suitcase, went upstairs to bed, and awoke the next morning to find him still inside and unresponsive. The sheriff's office said Boone's statements didn't line up with the video evidence found on her phone showing a blue suitcase facing downward with Torres trying to free himself. In the video, he called for help and yelled that he couldn't breathe. Boone could be heard laughing and saying, quote, "That's what I feel like when you cheat on me." So, interesting, just fascinating. And so, something that's been the topic of at least a few years are her letters, primarily to judges. I was speaking with some folks, producers, associate producers that we have. I'm going to turn on the air. Excuse me. And I was just getting a few stats. So again, and this has been going on since 2020. And something that's really been interesting for this whole process is that she's been through 8 defense lawyers. 7 of them were appointed by the court since 2020. So a lot of these letters talk about her lawyers and all this other stuff. Now, some had conflicts of interest. Some said they were too busy. Some said it was her. I don't blame them. So a lot was going on. And the last one withdrew. Thank you, AP Amy. Withdrew after Boone sent a number of letters to the court complaining about her ability to talk to counsel. You're going to hear about a lot of that. Now, again, when we were going through H.H. Holmes, which we might get back to, it was kind of straight through. I would be remiss if I didn't break this up every now and again just to put in a little bit of, conversation. Now, I will say this, in terms of how many letters there are, we are looking at a solid 19. We're not going through all of them tonight. There's going to be a couple of episodes of this, but should be interesting. Should be interesting. So, without further ado, I think we should probably get into it. Right before we do that, though, I do want to go and tell you that the Women on Death Row series is being published as we speak. It's coming out twice a week, and good news, I've got all the scripts written, and I've just got 43 more videos to record because I love you. So stay tuned for that. It comes out every Tuesday and then alternating Thursdays and Fridays. Terry is working on some cool stuff as well. And then I will soon be moving on to the next subsection of Death Row. So stay tuned for that. I will tell you this. I don't math, but I did the math. And for the Death Row series, men alone who are on death row, if I was to do 2 episodes a week, I would have material. And by material, I mean I would have cases for 21 and a half years. Which is crazy. My hope is that I can get so far ahead, I can start releasing them regularly, like 4 times a week, things like that. If you like them. So hopefully you like them. So let's talk a little bit about Sarah Boone, shall we? And let me play this. Let me play this trailer for you real quick, then we'll move into the letters. All right, so here we go. We're going to start off with this letter from Sarah Boone to the judge, and this is dated January 10th, 2023. I would love to be able to just... Can you all see that? Hopefully you can see that. I hope that's readable. Also, you are correct. That is not how you play hide and seek at all, and those are not the rules. Eventually you have to seek. And also, I feel like if a suitcase was involved, a lot more people would be in trouble. So, all right. So here we go. Mr. Bankowitz. Hello and Happy New Year. You know what? Guess what I have? I got a little bit of music. It's like old times. You let me know if that's too loud. I think it's lovely. Mr. Bankowitz, hello and Happy New Year. I hope the holidays were lovely and very memorable for you and your family. Just what he wants. Well wishes from Sarah Boone. I just wanted to check in as I have not heard from you since the status hearing. You'll notice this about Sarah Boone. She uses a lot of in quotes, and sometimes it's just like, do you know how to use these? The answer is no. Status hearing back on 12/27/22, and want to confirm. Oh, sorry. This is referred to the judge. This was her lawyer. My apologies. Want to confirm you're still my attorney after your motion to withdraw was filed 12/19/22. It's my understanding you are, which is why I am writing to you directly, but also including Judge Wooten for fear I do not receive a response like the last almost 5 months, 21 weeks, 147 days. See, Sarah Boone likes to prison math, or incarcerate math. Incarcermath. She likes to incarcermath. Jeez. Let me fix this. Sorry, everybody. No. Wow, it's the wrong camera. The whole time. That's beautiful. Love that. Okay. Love that for you guys and me. It is very important to me you are aware my questions and concerns for the anticipated pre-trial conference on 1/17/23. If you are unable to speak to me beforehand, which I am very much hoping you will be, Unfortunately, I am unsure what else to inquire about, as I am unaware of any other progress going on in my case. In the meantime, please see below, and thank you in advance for the information and clarification. Her penmanship is very much on point. I guess when you have all the time in the world and you don't have a keyboard or a typewriter, you gotta make it legible, but also, I mean, I'm impressed. It's hard to write with them little prison pencils. You guys remember when we did Jodi Arias and she had like those little golf pencils? That's what I imagine her writing these on. But that looks like pen. So pre-trial one. Pre-trial conference, Tuesday, 1/17/23. I would like to be in attendance. What time, please? I have not received a notice via mail or heard from you to ask, and no time was stated during the status hearing. Please make the necessary arrangements for me to be included. It is my right. I think Mr. Torres' right was to live. Kind of denied that. Number 2, waiver of appearance. Please mail or bring the appropriate document or documents to unwaive my appearances going forward to everything I am able to be included on. So I am kept updated with all status of my case. I'm telling you what, my 8-year-old knows how to use the in quotes to be sarcastic and all that other stuff. I don't think she means... Okay, whatever. It is my right. Dude, if we did a drinking game with it is my right, you're not going to make it. Please note, I have not signed any paperwork for you since the start of your representation, 7/11/22, as my attorney. So good night, Franco. You have a good one. And in the words of the old JT, don't go. God, I haven't done that in a while. If you're an OG, you know what that reference is. As my attorney. So I am unclear how my right to appear was waived in the first place, nor have I verbally given permission for the waiver either. Please provide the signed copy at your earliest convenience. In the words of Mandy Patinkin in The Princess Bride, I do not think this means what you think it means. Jeez. Number 3. Can you imagine getting a letter like this? I can't imagine. Number 3. Reason for withdraw. It was not made known by you as my attorney or stated by the judge to the court during the status hearing. I was completely blindsided and still massively confused for the attempt, as our attorney-client privilege hasn't even been established from the 2 hours we have spoken, out of the now 4,536. Somebody learned how to carry the 1. And the general information it was when we actually did. If you had genuine, legitimate concerns, I thought from a professional, moralistic standpoint, you would have discussed with me, or at least mentioned rather than being uncommunicative for almost 6 months, an entire half of another year. For me, that is what 6 months is, Sarah. Nicely done. For me, just sitting here with nothing to show but a perpetual question mark still over my head. I would have hoped if you were unable to maintain your workload, which still presently includes me as your client, you would not have made the decision to take on my case and even give me selling points on all your capabilities and resources. Why? Please help me understand. We are supposed to be working together, and for each other, rather than against. Okay. I don't think you understand how this works. It worries me futuristically. Yikes. I have not to date received the copy of your withdrawal Judge Wooten said I was included on when reading the certificate of service during the hearing. Please provide me a copy. Number 4, phone account. It was previously told to me by you in our one in-person meeting, 8/22/22, that you already had this set up and were having your assistant look into so we could use. After not answering any of my calls, the few I did make in an attempt to touch base with you to provide requested information you asked me for, I stopped calling you, Mr. Bankowitz, and have not to date since September of 2022. I kept hoping you would call me or set up a visit, even for 15 minutes, which has not happened. Please help me understand. You know what? This next sentence, also please help me understand. Please help me understand why you gave me your personal cell phone number. I would like to know why. Why did he do that? I feel like there's other ways to do things. What's up, llama? If you missed it, this is much more interactive tonight because Sarah Boone. Also, to clarify for you, the judge, etc., I did not avidly search for the statements regarding your public reprimands in 2015 and 2018. Methinks you protesteth too much. Where are we? There we are. In an attempt to speak with you from no response to my letters or calls, cell or office, when having someone look up any contact alternative and to confirm your address from a letter I sent that was returned, then resent, the reprimands were discovered and for the same complaint as mine, lack of communication. I feel like there was a lack of communication when Torres said, "Let me out of the suitcase," and she said, "Huh?" During the status hearing, when I made this known, I was not clear in the end if you were going to actually set up again the phone account to be used, which any and all callers, inmates, must have established in order to speak to family, friends, attorneys, anyone. It is nothing new. It is nothing new or extra, and all costs incurred can be submitted for payment to the court as you have done in the past already. This is how attorneys communicate with their clients here in OCCD. Another option, in addition to 45-minute video visits, 15-minute at-home visits, in-person visits, and of course the postal service, it would definitely make sense to use in avoidance of even more time being exhausted in the length between any visits in the future, which will only help the progress of everything. Will you be utilizing? Numero 5. Discovery and case materials. In the status hearing, you stated you have, quote, 2 boxes of information that are out of order and unorganized, end quote. In that case, correct. Well done. Gold star. Have you organized and reviewed? How long have they been in your possession? When will we be going over? It is extremely concerning this is all you have. It has been said there were 3, 5, 6, a ton from some of the attorneys prior on my case. Which is it, and what is there? 3 years later, I'm still wondering. I have also put in numerous hours, pages, pen ink of my own information, which I am praying is in either of the boxes you currently have. That's one truth she's told. Please let me know, as the added amount of even more time to locate, receive, review anything missing from everyone receiving before then withdrawing will most definitely be extreme. Extreme power thirst. I don't know what you have. I also could this is my favorite part. I also could assist in organizing what you do have, considering it's all part of my case. I am eagerly waiting and more than willing to help with this and everything else. I just need to see what there is, which I have yet to 3 years later. I like how she's just like, just drop the boxes off with me. It's fine. It's fine. Just put them right here in my cell. I'll look at them on my little tiny table. It'll be great. Tiny table. That's fun to say, huh? All right. Let's see here. This is so great. If you have any comments, feel free to write them in the chat. Prosecutor, number 6. Is there a new one in my case? I noticed his attendance during the 3 status hearing attempts and came to the conclusion there is. Since you have not communicated with me this or any information, nor an announcement made by the court, I do not know. If so, what is his name? What is his background? Mr. Bankowitz, you must understand how insignificant I have been made to feel with the never-ending debacles, hurdles, and stumbling blocks I have and am going through and still facing since becoming incarcerated. Just, me. You know, I wonder how many drafts she went through of this. That's really ultimately what I'd like to know. Maybe she could just write like this. No one seems to listen. Ever. I refuse. Absolutely refuse to believe this. My entire experience to date really is how our justice system operates. I refuse because, as said to you, Judge Wooten, the court, to everyone else in the status hearing, and to anyone who truly cares, my reason is hope. Never ending. No matter what. Hope. This being the entire reason I am even here for my incarceration. Nothing is impossible with God, and I await my day to say my truth and side of everything. Please don't give up. I have not and will not. Ever. I await your response. Always, Mr. Bankowitz. Thank you. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. So she spends the entire time She spends the entire time like railing against him, and then she goes, "Always, Mr. Bankowitz, thank you." What are you thanking him for? You just reamed him out. Zoinks. Zoinks. All right, that's letter 1. Oh boy, we're moving on. January. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. We got to get this. I got to get this in order. You know what it is in order. 1 second. Let's see. 3/27/23. Oh, there's more. There were earlier ones. Y'all, I failed. How are those not showing up correctly? Well, you know what? Let's go back. We're going to Tarantino this. So she still got Bankowitz. The first one that I read was from 1/17/23. My bad. This one is from 10/7/22. So not that far back. Oops. Noob mistake. Mr. Bankowitz, I am writing in regards to not hearing from you, and am becoming very concerned. Boy, if you think you're concerned now, think about it in 3 months. I'll let you know you're more concerned. After receiving no response to any of my daily calls or from the letters I've sent. As of today, October 3rd, you have been my court-appointed attorney for almost 3 months, 12 weeks, 84 days. And only... She puts those in as if it's more dramatic, as if it's going to entice them to continue on more. Oops. And only spoken to me 3 times. By the way, thank you to producer Llama. I appreciate the fact that she collected these letters and put them in our drive so that I could just pull them out. So thank y'all. Yes, only spoken to me 3 times. 7/14/22, video introduction, 15 minutes. 8/2/22, video update, 15 minutes. 8/22/22, visit in person, 90 minutes. Did she say that he only met with her for an hour, like 3 months later? Pretty sure that was in her letter. I have written 2 letters in the meantime also. My most recent I sent on 9/12/22, with no response. I am unaware of the difficulties you are having in communicating with me. Video, phone, letter, in person. Especially via phone, which to me is the simplest form of doing so, even if just for a brief update, which takes only minutes. I believed by giving me your personal cell number, you were going to answer. I would at least... I can't imagine. Just, she's bored. She wants an update. You're like having dinner with your family. And then, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. I imagine that's Bankowitz's ringer. And then she's on the other line. She's on the other side. How? Nope. I hope it's like a business cell phone because... no. So maybe she's confusing business cell phone with personal cell phone. I sure hope so. Not a very good practice. I believe by you giving me your personal cell number, you were going to answer. I would at least know all is well and have a better understanding of the status of some things. What to plan on, or what I may need to work on, or what to wear. That's not in here, but you can see that. With no communication makes my end more difficult, drawn out, and painful. I'm sorry. What are you in there for again? Oh yeah, shush. Please figure out whatever necessary for my phone calls to be answered, which you will be reimbursed for when you submit your costs. It feels at this rate of communication and meetings and you just coming on board, not having all of my discovery to go over, still on top of everything else to be done in depth. How much longer am I really going to be here added to the 32 months already? Life. Especially if we communicate, however you eventually do, only one time a month, if that. As for all of the month of September, I know nothing from not hearing from you. Double negative. She would know everything from hearing from him. Oh man, if I had my troll in the dungeon. I would be playing it right now. All right. I understand you have other clients, as I am one also. And you've been recuperating from your back. But it's just probably because you're always on it, Sarah. He's got to stretch before he reads these. But remember, please, how long I've been here. You are my sixth attorney, not by choice. That's because you lost that option. And the magnitude of my case, with not knowing what's going on or where you are, how much harder it is for me. I want to get on with my life, Mr. Bankowitz, and not miss any more time necessary from my son. I have already missed 4 of his birthdays and spent 3 of my own in here. Please understand. I like how she is writing this as if she's going to get off. Ma'am, I don't think so. Have you seen the video? Just going to toss that one out there. Watch, trial's going to be over, and I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. No, too, I am patient, clearly after all the time already invested, and still smiling and willing to go above and beyond whatever we need to do to properly and truthfully convey my very convoluted, misunderstood side of everything, which I boldly told you in our meeting last month. I am dedicated, ready to start, overdue. It wasn't intentional? Didn't it become intentional after he said I can't breathe and wanted to get out, and she didn't let him out? I'm not like arguing. I'm just asking. Because really, I'll be honest with you, I have very little knowledge of the case other than what I've briefly read. But and I've seen the video, so it sounds like it might have been. I don't know. Mama Terry, you are more than welcome to school me in the Courtyard Discord, which you're all more than welcome to come to. Join us. I am so... see, here we go. Wreck. The positive side of the bun. I am so very grateful, Mr. Bankowitz, for you, all you are doing, have done, and will do. We're in this together, and I'm so blessed you are my attorney. God has put us in each other's paths for a reason, and I can't wait to see what you and he will do. I'm praying the 6th time's the charm. Ma'am, if you've gone through 6 attorneys, even God's like, I give up. You know that joke? Have you ever heard that joke about there's like a flood and the guy's on the roof and, a boat comes by and he says, hop in, we'll take you to safety. And he goes, no, God will save me. And then, I don't know what, a bigger boat comes by, like a yacht or something, and says, hop in, we'll save you. And he goes, nope. God will save me. And then a helicopter comes by and is like, climb up, we'll save you. And he's like, no, I got it. God's got me. He'll save me. And then he dies. And he goes up to heaven and he says, I don't understand. I've done everything. And you had said that you would save me. And God goes, well, I sent a boat and then a yacht and then a helicopter. What was difficult? That's all I'm saying. I think it plays a part in this. Please respond. I await your response. Thank you profusely. Sarah Boone. All right, so that was 10/7/22. Moving on, just over 1 month later, this one this one goes exactly to Judge Wooten. And by the way, I love this. 11/3/22, 4 weeks exactly since the last letter. Honorable Judge Wooten, forgive me in advance for having to utilize your invaluable time. Oh, that's just cut off from the printing. I was like, to ask the current progress of my case. But after not having any form of communication with my attorney appointed by you now after 11 weeks and counting, after sending 4 letters to my attorney appointed by you with no response, and after finally finding an outside resource to inform me of the uneventful, confusing filed documents online by my attorney appointed by you, I am still waiting with the perpetual question mark over my head. She does like that line, doesn't she? She likes the perpetual question mark over her head. She's a fan of that line. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. All right. She does. She likes having that question mark over her head. No, you're good. You're good. Don't worry. Family first. Come on now. No letters, says the guy who's in a dark room with family across the way. No letters, no video visits, no face-to-face visits, no answered phone calls from, I think she has a bunch of like little note cards that have these phrases on them, and she's like checking them off as she gets them into each letter. Phone calls from my attorney, or even a response from you, Your Honor, regarding one of my letters expressing my legitimate concern of what's going on in my case. And where's my attorney? It has now been over 4 months since being appointed another attorney, numero 6, and not by my decision, influence, or choice, and almost 3 of the 4 months not hearing from said attorney, 8/22/22, last correspondence. Why? What is the reason? Why haven't I received a letter, even a 15-minute video update, anything? Even after my PTC on 10/25 is what truly confuses me and nonetheless upsets me, the fact that I was not in attendance so I could know what's going on in my case. Especially considering I have not heard from my attorney in 11 weeks and should have been included. Why was I not? This is my case? Was Mr. Bankowitz even there to represent me? I don't know. Anything. Still, the problem is that my constitutional rights are incorrectly being waived. Her constitutional rights are being waived. You were close. Can you buy a vow? I'll let you have one for free. Without my knowledge or permission. I've never signed anything, nor verbalized the idea I wish to waive my appearances to any of my court dates. I want to be present for all dates. Going forward, please. Regardless the significance. All are significant to me since my attorney fails to relay any information in any way. If he's not going to, then I must myself and for myself, as always, my entire life. by the way. She's now pro se. She's now representing herself. So she ended up getting what she wanted 2 attorneys later. And she doesn't want it. She makes it sound like it was decided without her, but she totally messed this up. What else can I do? Who else can I seek help from? I have you and God, Judge Wooten. If I do have an attorney, where is he? There's so much to do all over in my case. Hopefully the right way this time. Off to a rocky start, where I wonder how more extended my time will be on top of the almost soon to be 36 months, 3 years, just in case Judge didn't know how many months were in a year already. Is this how the justice system really works? Am I being penalized for wanting to be fully involved in everything in my case and intelligent enough to know how my case is being handled is unjust and, from my point of view, disastrous, considering I'm still here sitting in Orange County Jail counting the days and praying my 6th attorney contacts me and we can move forward, finally coming to an end this seemingly endless debacle? Wow, what a sentence. What a sentence. I'm going to read that again and see if I can do it in one breath. Am I being penalized for wanting to be fully involved in everything in my case and intelligent enough to know that my case is being handled is unjust from my point of view, disastrous, considering I'm still here sitting in Orange County Jail, all counting the days and praying my 6th attorney contacts me and we can move forward, finally coming to an end to this seemingly endless debacle? You would think, considering the circus show my entire case is being made out to be with all the hype, sensationalism, and publicity. I received a letter, just in case you're wondering, she's going to brag about this. I received a letter all the way from across the pond in England the other day. Well, now she's international, everybody. She's international. Somebody get her a star on the Walk of Shame. Yeah. So I received a letter all the way from across the pond, England, the other day. It would be being handled more professionally or better. I learned something new every day about facts, events, and outcomes in my case from all the inmates and officers as well. I wonder if they might know where my attorney is. Bottom line, please understand, I don't want to be here any longer. I don't want to be hindered any longer. I'm getting just to the starting line again. I want to be suppressed and being heard. Finally, truthfully, correctly. So when Judge Wooten, when will I hear from my attorney? Or will you please just get some type of response other than a copy of my letters I keep sending, which I already have? In the meantime, it is my understanding the following documents have been filed in my case since the appointment of Frank Bankowitz, my attorney, MIA. Wolf. 7-11. Bankowitz appointed. 7-12. PTC order, pre-trial, 10-25, trial, 11-7. 8-29. Pre-trial canceled. 9-23. Notice of unavailability, state. 10-7. Correspondence, my letter to Bankowitz. 10-12. Correspondence to defendant, copy of my letter. 10-24. Notice of appearance. For what? Had 3 years ago. Not guilty plea, already filed. Waiver of appearance, never signed or agreed to. Compensation, for what? What's been done? 10-25. Substituting conflict counsel. Who is my attorney? 10-25. PTC 1/17/2023. Trial 1/30/2023. That's it. In the almost 4 months I've been a client of Mr. Bankowitz, this is the only progress? What's next? Where are my copies of everything filed ever? This is one way I can have some idea of what's happening, and please remember, I have no access to a computer, nor any reliable outside resource to check anything for me. Somebody get this woman an iPad or something. Please mail copies. I'm trying to come up with any solution possible to keep me, the other party in my case, informed and updated. This also is a part of the court's responsibility. I would especially think, knowing I've not heard from my attorney in any way for 11 weeks plus. I want to be included. As always, I want to be included. As always, I thank you for your time and understanding. Please help however you are able. I am not helpless. I am ready to get this show on the road and to hear from someone other than myself asking the same question over and over and over. Please be careful. Doors are closing. What's going on in my case? Or how many more pens will I exhaust asking? Well, we can give you a pencil. You want a golf pencil? You can have a golf pencil. You don't need the pens. Grateful and patiently waiting. I await your response, which is what the first sentence meant. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. Oh boy, this is getting better. Oh boy, she started bullet pointing with a Sharpie. It's getting real, y'all. It's getting real. Let's have some music change. What do you think? Let's see. There we go, a little rock. Why not? December 5th, 2022. Judge Wayne C. Wooten. Regarding Sarah Boone. Summary of progress. Numbers only. That's all I have. 1. Since appointed by the court, Frank J. Bankowitz, attorney, number 6. July 11th, 2022. 21 weeks, 147 days, and counting. 2. Since last spoke to Frank J. Bankowitz, attorney number 6. August 22nd, 2022. 15 weeks, 105 days, and counting. Since pretrial conference. No, sorry if you yawned with me, my bad. That's true. It's very true. She has plenty of time too. She really does. I mean, I just imagine her like face. You know, like when you got tired of writing or you were in school and you just were like, all right, face on page, and now I'm gonna write. Like you're just like this, and you're just like, let's see if I can do this. I think that's what it is. I think she's got herself just on the paper, and she's just help if I didn't hit the cord, and she's just like one line at a time, and a circle, and a dot, and can't spell wave. That's how I see this. That's just how I picture it. Number 3. Since pretrial conference, no response from attorney or court. October 25th, 2022. 6 weeks, 42 days and counting. 4. Since my last letter to judge regarding MIA attorney and case, November 3rd, 2022. We just read it. 4 weeks, 32 days and counting. 5. Total hours of time represented by Frank J. Bankowitz, 3,528 and counting. Total hours of time spent with client Sarah Boone, 2. Here's my question. Do you think that on this first page, she worked from the bottom up? Do you think she put, like, this is my main point, this is what I want, and then she worked up until she didn't have any more space versus working down and ending it right on that last line like she did? See, I'm just asking the important questions here, everybody. Also, I appreciate the fact that she numbers her pages. That's adorable. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. Where's my attorney? Where are you, Judge Wooten? I understand the holiday mode everyone is in as we inmates sit and wait for it to pass, but before we come to the end of yet another year, almost 3 for me in OCCD. You know what's really funny? Like, I read OCCD and I'm like, OCD or CCD. So it's either one or the other. I think it's both for her. It would be respectable of the court to please advise the status and location of my attorney foremost, and also provide any real progress of my case, which is difficult to do and further without an attorney. Nonetheless, after being appointed so many, I thought hopefully the level of dysfunction would be lessened. Sarah, breathe. Just breathe a little bit. Unfortunately, to date, I am sadly mistaken and feel I've been severely misled. Even more unfortunate seems to be the lack of representation from any party of my case, other than myself. Look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers. In the meantime, and in preparation for the upcoming status hearing on 12/20 at 10:45 a.m., which I just received notice for, thank you for the inclusion, I am in the process of writing to... No kidding. I am in the process of writing to our governor. Ma'am, governor has an R between the E and the N. However, some of us wish there wasn't an R between the E and the N. Regarding the mismanagement of my case and the multiple added obstacles and deterrents I am experiencing, trying to avoid any further time consuming hindrances or setbacks going forward. Dude, somebody got Sarah Boone a thesaurus. You know, I'd say she shift F7 just to open up like synonyms, but obviously not. Some of the major legitimate concerns of mine are the violations of my constitutional... Oh, here we go. My constitutional rights. The degree of neglect and the nonchalant by everyone in my case to substantially progress, and the illegal, non-permissive release and distribution by the Orange County Sheriff's Department of crucial confidential case files, videos, photographs, documents, etc. pertinent to my case, which I have not even seen or even know about. Everyone knows more than I do about my case. I went Macho Man. Oh yeah, everybody knows more than I do about my case. The cream rises to the top. As a result, it is impossible to choose a jury that will be impartial, fair, and uninfluenced by all the mutated, exaggerated, hyped sensationalism. Ma'am, the video went around. What are you gonna do? There's no exaggeration. It happened, okay? Zoinks, Scoob. This being a significant reason I requested a change of venue previously. At this point, it will make no difference. There's nowhere I am not known. The premature, unfair judgment by everyone has wrongfully and inappropriately already been made. I haven't even seen my discovery or know where my attorney is, my sixth attorney. Not only am I, the other party in my case, still in the dark with everything, I am blind and in the dark. This is wrong, unfair, especially for a still proud citizen of the United States of America, and is unacceptable. There is more to everything, much more, and in which I've been patient to an extreme to explain, interpret, and educate what now seems to be the whole new world. The whole world. I am hopeful I'm hopeful the governor... You see, she gets one letter from across the pond. All of a sudden, it's governor. Will be able to untangle the chaos and mistreatment. No one else seems to be available or willing to abide by the protocol of our justice system and rightfully, eagerly apply themselves. I'm hoping still these aforementioned topics can be further discussed at the hearing on the 20th, and in which I am bringing to everyone's attention prior. I have not heard from my court-appointed attorney to date, so I'm unaware what else may be on the docket. It is time to finally move forward, and in all the right ways. Happy holidays, Sarah Boone. Oh boy, there's more. Not really. Yes. Starting to love. I haven't read all of these letters. This is just happy holidays. I am also sending a direct copy to you in case the court and or judge does not. Actually, this is directly to Mr. Bankowitz. I am also sending a direct copy to you in case the court and or judge does not, therefore giving no reason of any unsurety of my ongoing concerns regarding having no communication from you in any manner for almost 4 months. I believed the court and or judge would have sent copies to you of all my letters to them, but since I have been unsuccessful in receiving a response or update by their side also, I am taking it upon myself to make sure everyone is aware I am still sitting here waiting on you. Well, I was sitting, waiting, wishing you believed in superstition. Lately, have you seen the signs? All right, Jack Johnson, please respond. I look forward to seeing you at the hearing, if not before then, with very much overdue and anticipated progress. Thank you. And a merry, unhappy holidays to you. You don't, Mr. Bankowitz, you don't even get a happy holidays. You get a thank you. It's just fascinating. It's just so interesting. Now, listen, I kind of like, I get some of the frustration because at 100%, you definitely need to be in correspondence as far as I know. But what are we doing here? What are we doing here? All right, so we've been through, that's 2024. That's not what we need. I don't know why these did this. It's okay. These really shouldn't have. I'm so confused. Oh, hey, look, that helps if you just click name instead. Oh, JT, what are you doing with yourself? Nope, that didn't help at all. Wow. All right. So we got 12, 14, 22, 11, 10. Flip this around again. And now I'm seeing more 22s. Y'all, you put up with me, and I'm still not sure why. Still not sure why, but thank you. Let's Tarantino it again. Back to 42022. And I think that's the last 22. Nope, there's an 892. Oh boy. We're gonna make it through 2022 tonight. Damn it. All right. 42022. We're making there's so many layers of that I had to get at the same time. Oh boy. Listen to some music for a second while I take a drink. All right. We're back. Honorable Judge Wooten. Now remember, the last one we did was Happy Holidays. We're back in the spring of the same year. Honorable Judge Wooten, thank you foremost and in advance for your invaluable time and concern in this very unexpected and incredibly confusing matter. I am writing in regards to the requested withdrawal, most importantly, of my attorney, Maurizio Padilla, and my team filed on 4/18/22 along with a continuance. Forgive me if this is... You guys know how Pearl Harbor... Great movie, but Pearl Harbor just kept going on and on and on. And then all of a sudden they introduced the Doolittle Raiders and you were like, it's... The day was over. It was done. Why are we're going? Oh, okay, we're going. Baldwin? Really? Oh, all right. That's pretty much how the continuance thing is going here. Forgive me if this is the wrong approach in contacting you directly, in brackets, but I'm not going to stop for the next 2 years. But I wanted to be fully aware of the magnitude of my shock and disappointment in the betrayal of Mr. Padilla, as I have not in any way, by anyone, been provided any explanation for the aforementioned withdrawal, etc. It's a withdrawal. Where's the etc. coming from? Okay. I unfortunately had to learn of these documents by my former husband when calling to speak with my son. After making a commitment to me as my attorney over the past 2 years and 2 months ongoing to fully and sufficiently represent me, also being made to believe we were a team, I am completely blindsided nonetheless in how this was and is being handled by a professional. I do not understand. With that being said, Your Honor, I am graciously requesting. This woman is fascinating. Just fascinating. It is. I mean, I feel like. I just feel like there's this ebb and flow of all this baloney. Woof! Yikes. Listen, producer Llama, this is my bad. I should have looked at the dates. This is on me. This guy. With that being said, Your Honor, I am graciously requesting to be included and present, please, at this hearing on Friday, April 29th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. so I am able to learn more and also explain the ongoing legitimate hindrances I have been facing, along with my inability to amply amply progress in the preparation for my upcoming amply progress. Nope, not what I was going to say. I was going to say it's a good band name. It's a really shitty band name. In the preparation for my upcoming trial and future. In my opinion, these concerns are what spurred these requests by my attorney in the first place. It is undoubtedly of the utmost importance to me to fight for my truth, and in which I thought my attorney was doing also. Thank you beyond measure for your very much needed assistance and understanding. I am flying blind. I don't know the process, procedure, or protocol for any of this since I have never been in the current situation I am in. I would hope not, ma'am. Talk about stating the obvious. Good flippin' grief. I am eager to meet with you to further explain any and all. What is she trying to set up a date? Any and all questions or concerns whomever may have. Please know, with great emphasis, I just want to move forward, especially for the length of time already being incarcerated, and remedy this entire predicament, however that might be, in the best possible manner, having my best interest and security above all else. Again, I thank you profusely. I await your response with further direction in order to be in attendance and proceed forward. Exceptionally grateful, not really, Sarah Boone. So fascinating. To be honest with you, I'm a little surprised that her use of truth is not with a capital T. Because I feel like she would. All right, so that was 4/26/22. Let's move down here a little bit to 8/9/22. And then we'll be in order. Ooh, this is a little lighter. A little bit lighter. Can I? Oh, that's good. Cool. Oh, this one is to Captain DeGiovanni from the Orange County Corrections Department. Captain DeGiovanni, thank you for your timely cooperation and assistance in me receiving... What? What? She got a laptop? I hope that sucker was locked down, or at least it was a Google Chrome that can't do anything. Holy cow. What is happening? Ooh, indeed. In receiving my laptop yesterday, 8/6/24, and 2 Discovery USB drives supplied by my investigator. Now, hold on a second. You said you didn't get any... You know what? Forget it. I am attempting to fully maximize my opportunities available from OCCD to thrive in my forced position as court-appointed pro se defendant and to the success of my case. This is 2024? 2024. Did I... Oh, oop. We're going to rename this then. You're right. That makes more sense now. Okay, cool. We're caught up. 2022, 1/17/23. We read that one. 1/25/24, 3/27/23. All right, 3/27/23. No, 3/22/23. Yeah, blah. Different music. Switch it up. Why not? This is to Frank J. Bankowitz, Esquire. Mr. Bankowitz. What's up? Welcome into the show. How time flies and then reverses and then flies again and then reverses. Listen, we just Tarantino'd it. That's all. That's all we did. Actually, it was kind of cool to read, like, January of 20... I'm not just making this up. It was cool to read January 23 and then pop back into 22 and be like, oh, it's a great question. Probably not. I mean, I have a Karen wig. But, you know, that's from a previous life. If you want to see me in wigs, join the courtyard. Because during murder mysteries, I tend to dress up. I like to go all out. All right. But thank you for the question. I appreciate it. And thank you for reminding me of that. I had such good times with the wigs. Mr. Bankowitz, This is my third letter trying to reach you over another almost 6-week period now. Surprised she didn't put the number of days or hours. The same 2 phone numbers you've given me still do not work. The one number, your personal cell, goes to voicemail directly and doesn't even ring. Ma'am, it doesn't mean it's not working. It means he's ignoring you. Accept the rejection. And then Mr. Benkowitz run because she doesn't accept rejection well. No, thank you. Only because you guys let me. I've had this number since. Oh no, you didn't miss that much, Nan. Not at all. We're in January 23. I missed a couple files to go back to 22, so we're back. We're like in the next letter from that January of 23 letter. So you really didn't. You're okay. I promise. A lot of this is the same, but also fascinating. And I'm glad you were able to hit that or get to that, because important things, family stuff, that's priority 1. I've had this number since you personally gave me back in July 2022 upon your appointment as my attorney by the court. Not working still 8 months later. Ma'am, it is working. It's working well. He's just not paying attention to it. Or he's just waiting for you to leave a voicemail, and then he will handle it via, I don't know, an email. Yes, the time-traveling transcripts. I am the Doctor Who. This series is known as Doctor Who, the Transcripts. Oh, man. Eradicate, exterminate. Yeah, you know he did. You know he did. You know that if she actually could text him, it would say, phone is in do not disturb mode. And it's literally, the rule is set up just for her phone, just for the number from the prison. All right. The other number rings and rings and rings until it automatically disconnects me. Not working either. This also is the number you continuously tell me it just needs to be activated. Please activate. Oh, there it is. See? Activate. I even, in my desperation to speak with you, had an outside caller try to reach you on my behalf. Weird. Who tried calling your office 3 times over the last almost 3 weeks, leaving a voicemail each time with no reply. You know why? Because he was too busy listening to your bullshit calls. We're both hoping you are able to reply to her email she sent today as another form of trying to communicate with you. I've exhausted my resources and am, again, just sitting here waiting. I was sitting, waiting, wishing. I know I did that already. For you to contact me. I lied. Strike that, reverse it. Waiting on the world to change. For you to contact me in whatever way you are able. And as soon as possible, please. Time-sensitive matters are at hand. As if he doesn't know. As I have made you aware previously, verbally, and in my letters. I know you have attempted to schedule the minimum 15-minute. I know you have attempted to schedule the minimum 15-minute my pretrial conference. Oh, the minimum 15 minutes. That's what I'm guessing. My pretrial conference, I found out, is now 3/31/23, which you said previously for whatever the reason I am unable to attend any of these. How am I supposed to know what's going on and what you are reporting and what is being discussed between all other parties except me? The main component in my she calls herself the main component in her case. Especially if I've totally read these beforehand. I have not. Transparency, everybody. Transparency. I'm experiencing this for the first time. You probably have heard these before. Especially if we, in a still unestablished attorney-client relationship, are not in regular or proper communication with one another. I swiped right. Why didn't you? Why can I not? Why can I not be in attendance and participate in my PTC? I drive cars. How else am I to be kept updated in real time and actual minutes during the conference, if not there myself? What do you want, a GoPro attached to his head? I have no way of knowing anything if not updated by you, my attorney, and I do not have a computer to view myself. Oh, thanks, Nan. Thank you. Help me understand, please. Here we go. Help me understand, please. How can court TV, different news channels, and even professional YouTubers attend my PTC and I cannot? How? Hello. I'm sure one of the other parties can help me with updates since they all will be in attendance for me also. Should you be unable to provide why I cannot be included in my PTC for my case, I'm sure also everything from the conference collected from everyone else will be vomited all over the internet, just like everything else has been, non-permissively, and can add even more dysfunction and ignorance to my prejudgment already made by the world in the great court of public opinion. I would like to be a part of all of this seeing as it all pertains to me. Please, it is my right. So many questions, concerns piling and piling up from not being there. That's number 3. Where is... Now, hold on a second, y'all. She numbered these letters. I'm guessing they probably pulled one for a reason. And they probably pulled 4 too. That's my guess. But yeah, so there's that one. Yay! 327.23. Let's see what else we got. 414.23. This is detailed, everybody. And by detailed, I mean it's probably some of the same. But let's give it a shot. Okay. 4/6/23. Poor Tiffany Russell, clerk of Circuit Court, Orange County, Florida. Plot twist. She reads these on YouTube too. To whom it may concern. The enclosed letter I sent, 3/22/23, was scanned incorrectly on the clerk's website. Only the first and third page. There it is. The first and third page. Missing 2 and 4. So I am resending with nothing on the backs to avoid confusion and were missed previously. I also... Here's what's fascinating to me. She is literally copying multiple versions of this letter. So she writes one. Here's what I think. She drafts one. It's a mess. She writes it professionally. Well, she writes it cleanly. Then, because obviously she can't print out multiple copies, she copies that one exactly as many times as she needs to and then mails them out. Just send it to the clerk. She'll send it to everybody else, ideally. I am enjoying these. You are correct. Probably more than anybody else. All right. Let's see. I also received a copy of my copied letter today with only the same 2 pages included. Are my letters even being read? No, they're probably going to voicemail, just like your calls. I wrote 4, but only 2 were copied, uploaded, and mailed. Clerical error? So passive-aggressive. An update while already contacting you. Mr. Bankwitz has not met with me personally, face-to-face, ongoing now 2 months, 8 more weeks. The 2 phone numbers given still do not work, or his office phone answered when someone trying on the outside. Judge Wooten, can you please have Mr. Bankwitz fix the phone problem? He asks me for information, some critical and time-sensitive, which I complete expeditiously for him, but then have no way to relay successfully, in turn hindering progress and creating even more to discuss in a 15-minute video visit when he does actually schedule it and it work. Even PDs answer their calls, and I have yet to be able to speak to my court-appointed attorney on 2 phone numbers for 9 months. July 11th, 2023 is my 1-year mark. Another milestone while here, with Mr. Bankwitz as my attorney. It is also my next PTC. Will I be able to attend and be included as I was previously at the last? Thank you? Question mark. Please also include me in the status hearing you mentioned to the court during the last conference, which is supposed to happen sometime prior to the next PTC in July. I am still waiting patiently and respectfully. 6,480 hours later, with Mr. Bankowitz as my attorney, waiting for him to contact me and hope just one of his phone numbers will finally work so we can pick up speed and provide significant progress. She loves quotes around progress in the upcoming meeting. Do you want progress or do you want progress? Thank you for reading my entire letter. He didn't. And uploading correctly for all the world to read also. Oh boy. Critique and judge wrongly and incorrectly as usual. Ignorance is bliss. Now hold on a second, ma'am. You wrote what you wrote. And all we have is to take it at face value. So what do you expect? Okay. I wonder what platform of popularity I will be featured on next, and how much wasted time, effort, and thought will be put into mutating and grossly exaggerating my case information racketeered to the World Wide Web. SMH, run with. She said to... She said, SMH, run with it. I wonder, too, if I have a panel of, quote, letter readers dedicated to all the ones I've written. Hi, Sarah. Can you see me? Because I can't see you. I can't, on a figurative or literal level. But hi. I mean, yeah. Enjoy. There's more to come. Oh, we know. We know, Sarah. We know. But thank you for calling me out. I appreciate it. She's SMHing all over the place. Shout out to my supporters. Everyone is waiting. Not on me. Hopeful no matter what. Sarah Boone. Oh boy, that one ended with a bang, didn't it? All right, we're going to do one more, and then we're going to end for the night because it's 11 o'clock. Oh, y'all, somebody gave her a dictionary. She is now addressing these to Judge Wayne C. Wooten, Attorney Frank J. Bankowitz, and the whole wide world. I can't even. Perspective. Merriam-Webster's Dictionary. Let me get this right. Perspective. Merriam-Webster's Dictionary. I wonder how many people are actually going to look up the definition to see if it's the same. I wonder also how many website hits the word perspective will get, because I'm so important. Definition 1. The science of painting or drawing so that objects represented have apparent depth and distance. 2. The aspect in which a subject or its parts are mentally viewed. A view of things as objects or events in their true relationship or relative importance. Why did you put the first one in there? It has nothing to do with... I seriously, I hope that there is some kind of drawing at the end of this. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to spoil it, but come on now. Please review so everyone has a clearer, better understanding of my continued concerns, hindrances, questions, and frustrations with the justice system and the solid absolute remissness. Remissness? Is that a... Hold on. It is a word. How did I not know that? Well, she wins. Apparently synonyms are laxity, slackness, and heedlessness. Laxity sounds like laxative. We're going to go with laxity. She is so informative. You're not kidding. Look, she done taught me something. So Sarah, if you're listening, round of applause for Sarah. Of my case and the due process of I am and have been waiting very patiently. I'm not. No, you. Okay. And maintaining what I can since no one else has or will, it seems. And I feel at this point, 6 attorneys later, 39 months, almost 3.5 years, which I will make. And not by choice. I need to make all aware of my immense struggle with the extreme mismanagement of my case to date. Let's look at the bigger picture, or perspective, to get a better view of what I've had more than enough time to see and realize. I'm hoping by doing so, eyes can finally be opened and very overdue, longed for progress and finalization can be had. The growing amass of ignorance, manipulation, slander, and advantageous gain must stop. My truth needs to be heard, and it is my right. Do not give me rights, expecting me not to fully utilize them. I voted for the president and governor while here in jail. Wait, what? I guess she's not convicted, so she could vote. Wait, does anybody know that specifically? If you're arrested and you're in jail awaiting trial, can you still vote? Voting in jail. You are eligible to vote. Virginia's jail population, 46% have not been convicted of a crime. They're awaiting trial. You can vote if you're being detained in jail awaiting your court date. You are currently in jail on a misdemeanor conviction. You do not have a prior felony conviction, or the governor has restored your right to vote. Interesting. Well, I was reading Virginia's. Sorry. Yes. She was 2020. I believe May. I think I remember that. Was it May 2020? She is. You are correct. She is definitely still considered by law to be innocent. Her little TikTok video says otherwise, but you're absolutely correct. She is. And I am more than happy to say that if they introduce evidence that proves that, I'll welcome it. She's got a kid on the outside, that sucks for the kid. But yeah. Let's see. Do not give me rights, expecting me not to fully utilize them. I voted for the president and governor while here in jail, and stop violating what I've been trying to utilize or lessen the value of my capabilities and opportunities. I am not apologetic in any way for being an observant, hardworking, above average, non-stereotypical inmate. Ma'am, you are a Karen. I can only imagine, sadly, how others not as outspoken as myself have been and are being mistreated, overlooked, and dehumanized. Get it together. Ma'am, I guarantee you they're still on their first appointed attorney, and that attorney has not lost their mind. Like, I want to say this. I do understand how frustrating that can be to have, like, one-way communication. And I get that you really kind of do have to have that two-way partnership between defendant and defense attorney. But I feel like there are ways to go about it, and constant writing of letters and stuff might not be it. Constant calling might not be it. But again, I don't know the whole situation. I don't know what's going on day to day. I just assume she's, at her tiny table, which I love saying. At my own tiny table, at my own tiny chair, I can write the judge and defense attorney. That worked better than I thought it would. Judge Wayne C. Wooten, 1. At what point do you evaluate and intercede in a case to make sure there is proper advancement, regular communication between the attorney and client, ethical treatment of client is being upheld, timeframes are being met, etc.? Hi, Bells. Hi. She's pretty high. Yeah. I'm gonna let you describe her as that. I don't usually describe people one way or another. However, no, you know what, Evan? I'll make a suggestion. I'll make a exception. That's what I meant. She's high maintenance. It's incredible. Just incredible. Clearly, you know of and have known of the prolongation. That's a fun word. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I think about with prolongation of my difficulties from your comments regarding my letters, but with no intervention from you to change anything for a better, less problematic process. You've told me in the past, when I've tried to voice my legitimate concerns to you in the courtroom, 5 times total in 3.3 years. She's done the incarcemath. And in my letters to, quote, save it for my next attorney, if told anything at all. Do tell, Your Honor. Which attorney? I'm on my 6th, whom I've not seen in person for over another 3-month period, 12 weeks, 89 days, and counting. Frank J. Bankowitz has been appointed as my attorney by the court to represent me in my case, and has been for 10 months and counting. Total approximate hours of representation, 7,200. Total times attorney met with client, Sarah Boone, 6. Phone numbers given to client by attorney, 2. Phone calls answered from client by attorney, 0. Outside sources calling attorney on behalf of client, 3. Phone calls, emails, voicemails answered by attorney, 0. Letters client sent to attorney trying to communicate, 7. You know what? On the first day of trial, my attorney gave to me 72 hours of representation. On the second day of trial, my attorney gave to me 6 meetings. 6 meetings now and 7,200 hours of rep. On the third day of trial, my true love my defense attorney gave to me 2 phone numbers, 0 phone calls answered, 3 outside sources, 0 phone calls, emails, 7 letters client sent. This went way too long. Somebody should have stopped me. Letters defendant client sent to judge trying to communicate, animate attorney in unsuccessfulness. Communicate, animate attorney. Okay, cool. 15-minute video visits between attorney and client, 3. Attended a court dates scheduled, 2. I was an attempted withdrawal. The other, an allowance to finally be included in my PTC, which was the same information carried over from all the others. Now what? 2. Why are you enabling my constitutional rights to be continuously violated? History lesson for everyone. If I was to put this together as a history lesson, I would be fired. This is not, it's just a list. That's not a history lesson. 1st, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 14th Amendment. She's probably got one of those little pocket constitutions. And I just see her just like in her bed, just being like, 1st, yes. 4th, yes. And then she just rips the pages out. 3. Why am I being judged for my legitimate letters I write in order to know the status of my case or attorney, and how much longer before something substantial occurs in the progress of 3.3 years later, other than the inappropriate prejudgments being made due to the excessive amount of my case information online, bigger and meaner fabrications of my case-sensitive details in which I have not seen, and even greater mind-numbing one-sided ignorance? Y'all, I can hold a note for a long time. That's a run-on sentence right there. If I didn't write my letters, would you or anyone be aware of all the rightful concerns still and ongoing? Is a perpetual question mark over... Here we go with the question mark again, everybody. I think she played The Sims a lot. I think she played The Sims. That question mark over the head. Is a perpetual question mark over a defendant's head without the rosebud password or cheat code the norm during a case due to inactivity, no communication, no help or intervention, or answers being given by anyone in the justice system? Honestly, what has been done about or with any of my letters other than being scanned and uploaded incorrectly? I made sure to correct so everyone is, quote, up to speed on my case status. Unfortunately, it's all I have to report at this time. Except you continue going. 4. Why are you allowing numerous case safety and protection elements to be breached, violated, and manipulated? Why has a gag order never been implemented? My case has to... Oh, here we go. My case has turned into an unnecessary witch hunt from the innumerable violations of my case details being leaked and racketeered illegally in exchange for website hits, viewer ratings, etc. In exchange for money. Ma'am, there are people out there who do this straight up for money. They do it for the sensationalism. All they want is they want the cash, and they'll run with it. However, and although I make jokes, this is quite the window into the brain of you. Albeit a foggy, dirty window that hasn't been cleaned in a while. Possibly one, most likely two spider webs. So, also, witch hunt, you are not a Sanderson sister. Get the hell out of here. What is your cut, Your Honor? Ooh. You choose who knows what, where and how in your courtroom. When did court minutes become live? When the internet was invented. Are you the one who authorizes the upload to the internet? It's all about, quote, how much rather than how did it happen. No matter the destruction caused in the meantime and is irreparable, it's not even about the suitcase anymore. What do you mean? It's not even about the suitcase anymore. My case is now a global event with the video receiving over 3. She writes it out and then she writes in all caps 3 million, as if he can't read a number, hits, depending on the website, in turn making me realize that's over 3 million less unprejudiced, unbiased, non-discriminatory, fair jurors I will have access to on my case. How's that going to work? Now what? Ma'am. Yes. I'm trying to think of a suitcase brand. Louis Vuitton. It's all about suitcase, baby. It's all about me and me. It's all about all the things that I did to you and videoed it. That's not rhyming. Anyways, number 5, factoring important private details should not be. Haha. Well, nice. It's all about Samsonite. It's all my kryptonite. Not be made and ready and available for the world to know about before I, the defendant, does correct. This is wrong, unconstitutional, unfair, and not how justice is supposed to work for anyone. I'm tired of having motives attributed to me that are unreal, assumed, and inappropriate. This is not legal. Ma'am, it kind of is. Because it's a good question, specifically in terms of breaking it down. I'm just assuming she's got people who are just like, do you know how popular you are? Oh my God. She's probably also got a billion letters that come in. 6. This is what a trial is for, correct? At this point, 7. At this point. This point as in 7? The 7th point? Or at this point, what can even be rightfully suppressed in my case? Once you ring the bell, it cannot be unrung. It's already been heard and seen. I don't even know where the bell is or who's ringing it. But whether the video was out there or not, jurors were still going to see the flippin' video. I don't believe we should have biased jurors. I do think that we should do our best to find jurors that can, accurately and efficiently do their job. However, whether they saw it before the case or during the case, you still put somebody in a suitcase, zipped it up, laughed, and went to bed. The context and environment in which they watch it doesn't change what happened. Number 8. When do I, the main component, we're back to main component, in my case, actually get to know, see, hear everything everyone else already has? When am I going to be included also? Talk about your FOMO. Number 9, when is the next status hearing you stated would happen before my PTC 7/11/23, my attorney's 1-year mark? Am I included? Number 10, what else can I do to ensure the productivity, communication, incorruptibility, appropriation, and intellectualism of my case? Well, first off, you have no control over the intellectualism of your case. Second off, incorruptibility. You're in Florida. Never mind. It is my right to know so I can begin or continue for true progress of any kind to finally be succeeded in a world populated by Sarah Boone. She wants true progress, and she wants to finally succeed. One woman, one desire, one electric chair. Sarah Boone is in the letters. Attorney Frank J. Bankowitz 1, where are you? Our last in person was February 15th, 2023, 3 months. 2, when is our next meeting? Remember, please, there are still time-sensitive matters pressing. FYI, in the 10 months of your representation, in case you didn't know, here are the 6 meeting dates which have occurred, so you can see perspectively, so you can gain perspective, so you can see prospectively the massive time gaps in between while I have been sitting eagerly waiting and wondering. Waiting on the world to change, and we keep waiting. Waiting on the world to change, and we keep waiting. Waiting on the world to change. I'm not going to read these dates. You can see them. Da-da-da-da. Number 3, why aren't you fixing either of the 2 phone numbers you gave me upon your appointment back in July 11th, 2022? Wait, what are we waiting for? Oh, waiting. Yes, I was just trying to see if I could get some audience participation that I can't hear. So you can just lie to me. Every time I ask you about, it's a different excuse. Much progress can be had in very expeditious manner if completed. Why has it not almost a year later? Why do you keep telling me to call when you know they don't work? As said before, public defenders answered their calls and reply to mail. Why are you unable or unwilling? See the difference it will make. I just like to imagine, like, every time she's like trying to call him and she brings it up in a letter, he just has to come up with some random excuse. Like, oh, I was eating dinner. I was out with friends. I was doing my Final Fantasy League. I was at church. I was with my grandmother. I was you just got to keep coming up with something. Listen, y'all, I know you've had that person where they want to talk all the time, or they are calling and you just, nope, not at all. You just come up with something. Number 4, our agreement made from one of my letters I wrote earlier this, ma'am, an agreement is not made by you writing a letter. That's not an agreement. That's a suggestion. In a solid 5 months prior, was to connect every 2 weeks with or without any significant progress. Why have you not been upholding this agreement, even in a 15-minute video visit? That's right. If you have to come up with an excuse, make it a good one they won't ask. If you say, I was sick, and I couldn't come in, they're going to ask, what? Did you go to the doctor? If you say I had explosive diarrhea and I was in the bathroom all day, they're not going to ask you any further questions. Get real specific with it. Getting specific with it. Na. Okay. Why have you not... Again, I'm very confused by this, and so is she. You can't make an agreement simply by writing a letter to somebody. Why have you not been upholding this agreement, even in a 15-minute video visit? Remember, a phone call is another option, and as difficult and not as difficult technologically. Really? Okay. That's fine. Life hacks with JT. Correct. Life hack. Well, look, we have a new short topic. The life hacks. Just like my advice from Hey Ho Show last week on Friday. Check it out. Shameless self-plug. Remember, a phone call is another option and not as difficult technologically. A working number is needed. Just one. Just one. Um, Number 5. What are your anticipated dates of completion for anything already discussed? And will eventually, when you do actually show up for an in-person scheduled meeting, there are 1,000 little fires. there are there are maybe she meant 91,000. It's very specific. There are 1,000 little fires needing to be put out. You're holding the fire hose. That's a tad sexual. A little sexual. Just a tad. To me. She does. She is really coming off as a Florida Karen, you know. So, please see from my perspective. See, full circle. We've gone back up to the definition. The botched eye-rolling experience I am going through still, and how I believe anyone would act or do if my slides doing the same. What would you do? Do not fault me in trying to make the best. Sounds like Thomas Jefferson. Do not fault me in trying to make the best, most successful outcome possible for myself in every aspect in the convoluted predicament I am in, and have been over the last 3.3 years. Alexander Hamilton. I would rather be called a narcissist, pain in the ass, arrogant, strange, or whatever else anyone wants to waste their time to think of. Just don't call me a murderer, which I am not. Man, we're calling you all those things. No one knows me except for the ludicrous insanity that has been made up, mocked, edited, and spewed all over the internet. It's not me. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. I didn't do it. I don't know how he zipped it up with one arm, but it wasn't me. Okay. Final paragraph. I'm hoping and praying my highly anticipated day will come, whenever that will be. I imagine in her head she's got like this like Lion King situation where like when the day finally comes, her defense attorney who's finally been talking to her will hold her up the circle of life and it moves us all. All right. In God's timing. I continue to wait smiling. At least everyone will know I'm not sitting around eating bonbons watching soap operas. Ma'am, we don't think that's the case. Not a thought. Application is the product of the lesson. Give me my chance appropriately, correctly, and fairly in court. Unfortunately, my perspective of our justice system is incredibly dim and dull. I hope my very overdue blinding light has shone brightly for all to see a glimpse of how it, quote, really works and being a system. We all have to work together to function in unison. Please help. See the difference I'm trying to be and make? Waiting and wondering? Keeping it real? This is like the end of the last letter with the SMH. She said, please help seeing the difference I'm trying to be and make, waiting and wondering, keeping it real. Now what? Now what? Now what? Sarah Boone. Good. That's not the right scene at all. Good grief, Sarah Boone. Good grief. You're just one wild and crazy gal. That is for certain. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We went a little later than I normally have, but oh my gosh, what fun was that? If you liked this, it's going to be on replay. Feel free to share it with anybody you know who would like to, listen to those letters. And hopefully we were able to do it in an interesting way. Thank you to our producer Llama, APs right now, Annie and Amy and some others. We appreciate it. She did make a difference. Yes, she did do that. Yep, that is true. That is very true. Unfortunately for them, that is not the difference we were going for. Nope, nope. this time around. All right, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. Please do not forget, check out Women of Death Row. Check out Midday Missing. Check out tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, True Crime in One Time is going to be live. We're talking about Southern Girl Murderers. And I can't wait to tell you about mine. What a story. It's a little ditty about Jack and Diane. They're neither called Jack nor Diane. So, again, thank you so very much. I appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself, your friends, your family, and your community. Do not let anybody dull your sparkle. And shine on, you crazy diamonds. Shine on. See you tomorrow, everybody.